And that is getting a lot of attention because it involved a police officer. Two bystanders were shot by a single policeman's bullet early Saturday morning on York Road right outside of Carryout. It happened in what witnesses say was a crowd surrounding a fight between the suspect and the policeman.
ABC 2 News investigator Brian Kubler is here now to explain what happened and what are some of the questions that are popping up around it. Brian?
Kelly, there are plenty of questions surrounding this shooting. The police response, the use or accidental firing of the officer's weapon, proper protocol. All of it now being examined as at least one victim speaks out.
This is 37-year-old Theodore Smith, the man a Baltimore police officer approached outside a carryout on York Road early Saturday morning. This was the target for the Northern District officer that night, not Demetrius Moore.
Walking from the door, out with you by the tree, and watching them, having them against the wall, that fast, and then pulling his gun out and shooting. That's all I seen.
What Moore felt was a bullet from the officer's gun. Moore, who made his way home from downtown that night, stopped here to get a bite when he heard the commotion of Smith and the officer fighting outside. When Smith had the officer pinned up against the wall, that is when he said the patrolman pulled out his weapon and seemingly shot into a crowd of onlookers.
He wasn't intentioning to shoot me. He was intentioning to shoot someone. Maybe the guy that had him or something. Because you're not going to pull your gun out and squeeze the trigger and expect not to shoot nobody.
Baltimore City Police say while that is Moore's account, it is all still under investigation. They say their Northern District officer with more than 10 years on the force approached Smith in an attempt to scatter a crowd, asked for ID, and then Smith attacked. It is unclear how the gun was fired, if Smith was reaching for it, or if it went off in the struggle.
These are very chaotic and dynamic situations. You have a lot of moving parts. You got people running around, you have gunfire, you have an officer being attacked, you have a lot of evidence you need to comb over.
But Moore says he got a good enough view from the line of fire and questions how police handled the situation in the first place.
First of all, you should have called backup before you try to apprehend them. There's already a big crowd. What make you think you one person can apprehend one person in a crowd? Of course, everybody gonna get rowdy. But you're trying to...
Now, crowd control was exactly one of the main reforms made in the department in the wake of Officer Torbett being shot outside the Club Select Lounge 2 years ago. The new protocol is very specific about how officers should handle a potentially rowdy crowd, and police say that will be examined here. Meanwhile, Smith is now charged with assault of that officer and resisting arrest. Brian Kubler, ABC 2 News.